Paul, it's been quite a dramatic week for MK Dons, obviously with the signing of Rhys Healey. You must be delighted to finally get that one over the line.
Yes, yeah, we were trying that in December, then tried it during the window in January, and it didn't work out. And then we've been sort of waiting until the summer window, and it's taken us 4 or 5 weeks of talking to Cardiff, and deal's been done, and Rhys is with us. And thank you to Neil Warnock for being very reasonable and respectful of Peter and MK Dons, and now we've got a player with hugely motivated and knows us, and we know him, and he's ready to go.
Is he the final piece to your jigsaw, do you think?
Well, in terms of how we see it at the moment, we feel pretty complete in terms of balanced and motivated and ready for purpose, really. But I suppose you never really know till the season started, and you see how we play and what problems might happen. But as it stands at the moment, we're not out there desperate to sign another player. We've got most corners of the team filled, and there's competition for places, so the balance is good. Yeah,
at this stage, is it just going to be keeping your eyes open for maybe some golden opportunities that might come up?
Absolutely, yeah. We've not held a lot of money back. I've been in a good position where the squad's been relatively secured before this point of the year, so we've had lots of our players already secured. So we've made some signings which enhance our squad. But you never know what's around the corner. Maybe something might pop up. But in terms of the budget, and we've got a competitive budget, and being respectful to Peter, I'm not just looking to spend the money for the sake of it. We've near enough spent the budget. We're in a good position. Never say never. We may have a player who encourages an offer from another club, and we get into someone going out, which I don't want to happen. But you never know what's around the corner. So your recruitment department always needs to be on their toes.
Has there been much interest for your players?
Probably, and I say that because as managers, sometimes you're the last person to know. I don't know what's going on in other managers' offices or recruitment offices. How would I? And their agents probably know more than I do sometimes. But I'm pretty sure there has been, but nothing that's been tangible that we haven't had to fight anybody off. But as some of our players, and I'm sure there are some that are going to develop very quickly, and this promotion is ideal for them. It gives them the opportunity to develop their game rapidly. I wouldn't be surprised if there will be, but fortunately I'm keeping the team together at the moment, and I certainly don't intend to lose anyone.
One player that we know is training with you is Ben Reeves. What's the situation there?
Former player. He knows Danny Butterfield from the Southampton connection. He's without a club. He's looking for a club. He'd asked Danny if he could come and train. He knows the club well, and Danny asked me. I said, yeah, of course. Yeah, why wouldn't we help him?
Because you had Troy Brown as well, didn't you?
Yeah, same situation. He came in for a week, played in a behind closed doors game for us. This stage of the year, we need a lot of players, because these friendlies, sometimes you need 22, 23 players. So it helps us, helps Ben have some football. He's looking for a club, and happy to help him. So as it stands, he's training with us. There's nothing lined up here, but never say never. But at the moment, there's nothing lined up for him, and we're helping him play some games and get fit to find a club.
Speaking of players getting fit, there's the likes of Baily, Cargill and Alex Gilbey as well, who missed the end of last season. How are they progressing?
Really good. They've both been. Alex has already participated in training during pre-season. We've got to hold him back. We have to be very careful with the players coming back from an operation and an injury, that they don't go too quick. So,
and he's an eager one as well, isn't he?
He is, and he's incredibly athletic and fit. So we have to be careful. So we're actually holding him back, and he's behind everyone else, and that's intended. We don't want him to race ahead too early, but he'll be into the thick of it within the next 3 or 4 weeks. I'm sure once the season started, he's not too far behind. Baily the same. I would imagine he'll be in contention and ready to play probably mid-August. So they're making really good progress, and with Rhys joining, and it's feels like the cavalry's about to join us. So Rhys is a couple of weeks behind. The negotiations, as I said, took over sort of 4 or 5 week period, so it's a little bit behind everyone else, and he'll be busy catching that up. But I think it's fair to say he's 2 or 3 weeks behind everyone else in his training.
With the number of players that you've got now and the level of competition you've got in your squad, is it a case of knowing your best 11, or is it always going to be a constantly moving sort of a benchmark, I suppose?
I don't know it because the some new players in, the dynamics change. We're in a new league. I know we've got a very competitive 20 players all vying for places, and the reality is we've got more than a dozen games in the first couple of months. So much can happen. There will not be 11 players who play a dozen games on the bounce from the beginning of August. So I would imagine within the first 2 or 3 weeks there'll be 15, 16 players used. So I'd say at this stage it's more a case of we're looking at the performances, we're seeing the dynamics, we're seeing how new players balance off others. It'll be a long time before I know my best 11, and the options are plentiful, so we've got plenty of options.
And we come to grounds like this at Welwyn Garden City, and this is where everybody starts to get excited about the football again. Are you excited for the new season now?
I am. We're busily approaching the fortnight to the start of the season, which seems mad, really. I mean, it's only watching the cricket last week, and it just been over 2 weeks and we've got to start the football season. So I'm looking forward to it. We're here at Welwyn Garden City. It's actually a drizzly night here, so it sort of feels a bit more football. But I believe we're going to have a hot spell again next week, just to remind us all it is still only July. But we are ready. The players have been in now 4 weeks training. They don't get unfit like the old days. I mean, it's players keep really trim and fit, and they're never that far away from returning to their top fitness. So we're close to that. 2 weeks to go. Everyone's really ready to go, and we're looking forward to that Bury trip.